Good evening, everyone. Hope you're having a good Friday. My name is Mike, and you're watching Borderline Banter. So far, just myself and moving the mouse around is Dustin. We might have another buddy show up soon, but who knows? But anyway, it's a long weekend for myself. I hope you all have a long weekend. And knowing it's a long weekend, it's Veterans Day and Remembrance Day tomorrow, depending on where you are. Take a moment and remember your veterans and remember all that. Anyway, as like I said, Dustin's pushing the buttons. Dustin, how's it going?
Welcome to the world of Borderline Banter podcast entertainment. How's everybody doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Just enjoying my Friday, Getting a little chill.
Yeah.
It's gonna be warm tomorrow.
Yeah. Happy to be here on Friday. It's been a week, It's always good to be at the weekend.
Yeah, for sure. So just myself and Dustin so far tonight. Other people had stuff to do, which is understandable, but
Yeah, they may show up midway. We'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll be amenable to that. If not, we got several great topics tonight if you're ready to jump in.
yeah, don't forget to join the conversation. If you haven't followed, please give us a follow. If you're watching later on YouTube, we go live 3 times a week, on Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m. GMT, Mountain Standard, MST too, Mountain Standard Time, and Friday at 7:30. You can watch us at I got distracted there, but you can watch us live on kick.com/borderline banter, borderline_banter.
Gosh.
I'm all messed up tonight, but it doesn't matter. I will post it in the links, and we will post it on our website. Anyway, let's get started, Dustin.
All right, let's jump right in.
I see Jay's. She's in the comments.
Hey, Jace, how's it going tonight? Our first article tonight comes from CTV News, which I assume is Canada.
Yeah, CTV.
Yeah, it's got a .ca up there. Republican presidential hopeful wants to build a wall along the Canada-U.S. border. Huh?
Vic Ramaswamy. I can't think of
All
his
right,
name.
this is the guy. This is the one to vote for. He wants to build the important wall. This is what we've been talking about on Borderline Banter.
Remember a few months ago,
Yeah.
I actually liked this guy. I was like, I really like him.
Yeah, now he wants to build a wall.
No, remember a few weeks after that, I started thinking, and I don't know what to think of the guy yet. Like, he seems smart. He seems like he knows what he's talking about. He's pretty witty. He did make fun of Nikki Haley the other day. Pretty darn good. It was a very, very good burn, and she took offense to it and tried to come back at him, but it was pretty good during the debate. I did listen to it. But yeah, I don't know what to think of the guy. He's young, he's smart, but I don't know. What do you think about waiting a while? First of all, do you know how long the Canadian-American border is? Did we talk about that?
I mean, it's probably really long, isn't it?
I'm gonna look it up. I should know this. It's USA and Canada border.
5,500 miles.
Yes. Longest border in the world. Longest single border in the world.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, that's never gonna
to
happen.
think you could build a wall so big. Like, that's...
And half that's forestry. Like, half that is a forest, Like that. What about, I guess, Grand Canyon?
Versus the U.S.-Mexico border, just for, reference, 1,900 miles.
Yeah. So it's almost triple.
So almost triple.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think it's kind of like, I don't know. It's good to have border security for sure. I'm all down for border security, but that's ridiculous. Like, there's no way. First of all, they don't have the manpower. And who's going to pay for it? Canada?
Well,
we're not going to pay for it. We're broke. We have no money.
If the plan is usually to make the other people pay for it. So,
yeah.
I mean, let's see. So Vivek here, we've got a quote. Vivek, we've got to just skate to where the puck is going, not just where the puck is. Don't just build the wall, build both walls. So isn't that a Gretzky quote?
No, Gretzky is you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
Is this a quote? Is he quoting someone?
I think that I don't know. We've got to just skate to where the puck is going, not to where the puck is. I don't know. That's not my lingo.
Oh no, this says Wayne Gretzky.
Is it Wayne Gretzky? Okay, it is Wayne Gretzky.
Yep.
Okay, I just didn't know that one. What a shame to Canadians I am, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's ridiculous. Like how it would be way too much money. They're gonna destroy how much forest? Like there's way too much forestry between there and here. And no, it's not gonna work. There's a city that's actually the road is right down the middle. Did you know about that? The library is half American, half Canadian. And before you're allowed to go back and forth, but ever since 9/11 they changed the rules where now you're not allowed to, unless you're on the main road going to your destination, you're not allowed to go on the American side or the Canadian side.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that. I don't live close enough to that border to
Um,
know anything about that stuff.
here, I will look it up here. Canadian.
So on Wednesday, that was his proposed solution. So the building of the wall, here's the reason he's saying it. It's a solution to arresting the flow of fentanyl into the U.S. Even though the numbers show the bulk of the drug is entering the country at official border crossings along the southern border.
Yeah, it's all coming. All the drugs. Okay, some of us come from Toronto. I mean Vancouver. Sorry. Um, some of it's come down. Actually, quite a bit of it's probably coming through Vancouver, but that's staying in Canada. That's not going to the States. Your stuff's all coming down from south for sure.
Yeah, our stuff's coming from Mexico, and the vast majority of it's going through the official crossings. No wall's going to stop what's coming through because it's. You've seen enough movies with gangsters and cartels and stuff, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You just bribe a couple people and things just go.
Yeah.
You just go through the normal crossing. You don't do anything weird. You just slip a couple bills and you go through. When you're moving hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stuff, handing a guy $1,000 is nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Not more
to you. But to that border crossing agent or whoever you need to grease, is it. That's all you need. But yeah, I mean, that's why building the southern wall was also kind of like, that's not going to even fix it. Because we know that the way the drugs are coming in, we understand how they're coming in.
And no matter what happens, the criminal's always one step ahead, right? Like they always know what they're doing. They have
got some numbers here. They got some numbers here for 2023. 1.2 billion doses of fentanyl from the south, 200,000 doses from the north.
Okay, so that's
these are not even close. The billions versus this is like yes, it does come from Canada a little bit. It's not zero.
Yeah.
So we won't say zero.
You're never gonna stop any of it with the wall or not. That could probably be in one car. You know what I mean? That could have probably been one car. I don't know. I don't do
and your 5,500 mile wall, a 5,500 mile wall to try to stop that car is crazy.
Pretty sure a dose is probably like half the size of your fingernail. I don't know. I'm pretty sure, but
no, that's not to say that U.S. doesn't need to do something. 1.2 billion coming across either border, it needs to be addressed in some way, but you got to address it smart. Yeah. You can't just address it with a wall. So as much as you think the guy's got smart ideas, this is not a smart idea.
And then again, that's all coming from China too, more than likely, through Mexico.
Yeah, and through I mean, it's pretty easy. Just land it in there and then take it across the border the way they've always done it.
Yeah.
Fentanyl is no different than the other stuff they've been moving across the border forever.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, Mexico's got a lot of cartel stuff. But some of the drugs, I'm good with what they're doing. Like the cartels that are moving marijuana, I got no problem with that.
Yeah, they kill lots of people. But yeah,
it's when you start moving like heroin and fentanyl that it's like, oh, hold on, now you're actually just hurting people.
Yeah, but they don't really care. So they'll do anything for $1. Cartel are some pretty messed up people. But if you don't mess with them,
I forget what it is. Wasn't it like the Sinaloas? Weren't they the weed cartel? There was one cartel that were like almost like a Robin Hood. You don't really want to call it. It's still a cartel.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the cartels either because again, I'm in Canada, way far away from the cartels. But from what I heard, if you really don't, even if you're there, as long as you don't mess with them, they don't really mess with tourists. Like, because they want the tourists to come, they want tourists to visit, because that's how they make their money, right? So
right.
Unless you're fucking around, they're probably not gonna mess with you.
Right. I mean, it's kind of like if they have their own laws.
Yeah.
Kind of.
No, it's true.
As fucked up as that is.
They're like, and like, I've seen one video where these guys actually chased someone down and said, "You don't want to go that way because, yeah, we're the cartels, but those cartels will kill you if you go that way." You know, it's like, okay, you should probably go back, right? Like,
yeah, that's when you just do the thing. You take the instruction and you follow it and you live.
Yeah.
So another thing about this border, 40% of it is underwater.
Yeah. Okay. There it is. So.
Holy cow.
Okay, so like, that still cuts it down, but that still cuts it down to almost over 30,000 miles, was it? Or yeah, not 100%.
Well, it's over 3,000 miles, but it's still, even where you have water, you have to have some sort of border. You can't just do nothing.
Yeah, because you
remember we saw those buoy things or whatever.
Yeah, you can just paddle across.
So they've got stuff for doing that,
but they got all those lakes, like all those.
But then on top of that, there's also the tallest mountain ranges on the continent in 3 different provinces. So like, logistics are insane.
They're just gonna build a wall that goes up and down. You know, like
it just won't work.
No, it's
like it's the other thing. It just won't work. I
don't know if he was trying to be making a joke or not, or he's trying to play the Trump card, like, "Wow, we're gonna build the wall, block those Canadians," right? Other than that, I don't know.
Mike Kelly, Republican from Pennsylvania, caucus co-chair, says we're outnumbered at the northern border. What? Outnumbered by what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Kelly cited Customs and Border Patrol statistics showing that 564 encounters with people named in the agency's terrorist screening database in fiscal 2023. 484 of them were at the Canada border.
Canada does like terrorists. They do like to invite them to our country, so. But that's a different story. But
at the southern border, you have to cross a river. At the northern border, you just have to take one step. There's no line drawn. There's no fence. There's nothing. Really unguarded. Why would you tell everybody that, Kelly? It sounds like you don't want America to be safe. You shouldn't say shit like this. You know, it may be true, but you shouldn't say it. You know?
Yeah, but there's no way. Yes, that's how it is. But that's how it used to be. Back in the day, I mean like 2000, 1999, 1998, you can literally just go up to the border, like, hey, they're like, hey. They're like, how are you? You're like, good. Do you have any drugs with you? No, yes, I got lots in the trunk. Okay, have a good day.
Nope, I was going to get them in Canada, actually.
And drive off, right? You made a joke about having drugs in the trunk, and they'd be like, oh, like they'd probably search you or whatever, but...
Can't do that at the southern border.
Now you can't do that at all. That wouldn't be a good idea. But you'd go through, you'd buy your stuff, you'd come back at the end of the night. You didn't need a passport. You didn't need... Not up to about 10 years ago did you need a passport to cross the border. You just needed it to fly, but now you need a passport to go. Which I do have to get a passport here. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work. What are they talking about with Zelensky for in here now?
I don't know. So it says there was another eyebrow raiser Wednesday when Ramaswamy invoked a controversy involving Canada. But then it starts talking about Zelensky, but I guess he was talking, it was making reference to that Yaroslav Hunka, the Nazi that Trudeau celebrated.
So, and that's he's referring to Zelensky as a comedian in cargo pants. Because that's what Zelensky was as a comedian.
It celebrated a Nazi in its ranks.
Yeah.
Well, he was there too. Zelensky and Trudeau were both there, right?
Zelensky was there,
Yeah. Like, egg face. Oof.
Yeah.
And they called him a Canadian hero, right?
He fought
Rhoda was the one who said that.
But they even said he fought the Russians in World War II. The Russians were on our side in World War II.
You just said that.
I don't know. We've already said this, but if it wasn't for the Russians, we would have lost World War II more than likely.
Yeah, I would say almost certainly. If not, the cost would have been so much different.
Oh, it would have been over.
Right, because they took so much of the cost.
But
maybe the world is totally different as we know it. You know.
It's amazing. This guy is not insulting. Like, he's insulted every other candidate for the Republican Party, but he hasn't to Trump. He's been nothing but respectful about Trump. So I'm thinking he's gonna try to go for maybe VP. Which I still don't trust him, but
I mean, he did accuse Trump of making a false promise.
Yeah, but he's been.
That doesn't count as going after him?
I don't know. He's been pretty soft on compared to what he said to the other one. You should see the comment. Type in him and Haley, whatever her name is. Haley, can't think of it. The Republican chick that's running for president.
Nikki Haley?
Nikki Haley, thank you. Type in, just look at the. He made a horrible joke. Okay, it doesn't really matter. Let's not look it up. But yeah, maybe let's move to the next story. Unless you want to see it. He's insulted. It was a pretty funny joke. Something about her wearing high heels. And he could have been talking about Ron DeSantis, though. Because you heard about that, right?
No.
All of Ron DeSantis, there's pictures of him wearing high heels. You gotta look that up. Hey, Ron DeSantis high heels.
Ramaswamy on Haley's scum barb. I don't think I'm finding the right thing about Nikki Haley.
Yeah, maybe skip it. Yeah, maybe it wasn't that big to everyone else. But Ron DeSantis and his high heels.
Oh, DeSantis and his high heels. There's actually been like deep dives into this.
Yes,
like,
I know.
He 1,000,000% has high heels.
No, but they're just shoe raisers from the shelf. He said.
Well, yeah. Call it whatever you want, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like they look at it like where his leg bends and stuff, and it's not normal.
Yeah.
Like if his foot was really there.
But
why pictures at the top of this really suck.
The thing is, I don't understand why it really matters, but it is kind of weird. Maybe because I don't know. Look at his feet too. Yeah, like that's got to be super uncomfortable. Holy, that's.
Well, there's no toes in here.
Yeah.
The toes are back here. Here's the toes, and then the heels up here.
Maybe it's
so the leg starts here.
It's because shorter people aren't as powerful.
And he gives him this extra bit.
Shorter people aren't.
Yeah, he's worried about his height.
Yeah.
I think he should just not do this. This is worse than being short. Like this is literally worse than like showing your what is even the word? Shame. Shame's not the right word.
Well, maybe it's not shame, but I don't know. It's kind of silly, but I don't know why it's being such a big deal. That's a funny thing too. Like he's done a lot of weird things, and you can attack him for his high heels. But
he looks like he's wearing trousers with an 8-inch opening, which is plenty of room for a Western boot on a man of his proportions. The boots are bigger than intended, probably to accommodate his lifts.
His lifts.
Yes, he uses lifts.
Yeah.
Huh. What? Oh, because there's that many bends. Like a foot doesn't bend that many times. An ankle, a foot. Okay. But yeah.
Well, I think it's time to move on to the next story here.
Yeah, I think he should just whatever height he is, just go with it. Like literally, like that's.
He stood toe to toe with Trump. Trump's actually a tall guy, and.
Yeah, but I don't think it matters.
Okay.
Maybe it does. Maybe we look at the historical presidential elections and see if like the taller guy always won.
From AP News, a volcanic eruption has created a new island off of Japan, but it may not last. Dun.
Got to make sure to book your trip soon. We've got tickets on Traviago, probably.
So it's created a new island.
Yeah, so I guess, is this really it? The aerial photo shows steam billowing from the waters off of Woto Island.
Huh.
Oh, okay, now I see something. Like, that's looking more like a...
Is that considered an island, I guess, but is that considered an island? These are still photos of eruption, I guess. Huh. Freaky. Mother Nature's scary.
Yeah. So an undersea volcano erupted off Japan 3 weeks ago, providing a rare view of the birth of a tiny new island. But it may not last long. So it's located about 1 kilometer off the southern coast of Iwo Jima, which Japan calls Ioto. It started its latest series of eruptions on October 21. So yeah, within 10 days, ash and rocks piled up on the shallow seabed, tip rising above the sea surface. By early November, it became a new island about 100 meters in diameter and as high as 20 meters above the sea. So there you go. Is that the definition of like you have to be this big to be an island?
Maybe.
I don't know. 100 meters in diameter, 20 meters tall. That sounds like it's a piece of land.
Yeah, it's a little piece of land, yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's not little, but it's not big, but it's not. Yeah.
But why is it going to go away?
Um, another eruption, another volcano.
Well, okay, so this says the newly formed island has somewhat shrunk because its crumbly formation is easily washed away by waves.
Okay, there, yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's just like ash and shit that's not really hard and heavy.
Would probably, over time it will, but it's gonna shrink. So.
The new island could survive longer if it is made of lava or something more durable than volcanic rocks, such as pumice.
Huh.
We just have to see the development, but the island may not last very long. So they're not sure exactly what all it's comprised of, or how much of what it's comprised of will be able to stick above water.
Yeah.
It might be something that's just like an underwater mountain.
Oh, yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Because all islands are just underwater mountains before they, get out of that, poke out.
Yeah, well, that's who knows? Maybe one day a big ass island will come out of nowhere and we'll have a new place to live.
Undersea volcanoes and seismic activities have formed new islands in the past. In 2013, an eruption in Nishinoshima, Pacific Ocean, south of Tokyo, led to the formation of a new island, which kept growing during a decade-long eruption of the volcano. It just kept spewing and making it bigger. That's cool. Also in 2013, a small island surfaced from the seabed after a massive 7.7 magnitude earthquake in Pakistan. 2015, a new island was formed as a result of a month-long eruption of a submarine volcano off the coast of Tonga.
Out of the 1,500 active volcanoes in the world, 111 are in Japan, which sits on the so-called Pacific Ring of Fire.
Oh yeah, and it's that because it's like that's where a bunch of the plates or whatever, like the most overlapping plate shit is happening, or whatever. Because it's the plates and shit like rubbing together that makes the volcanic shit happen. I'm not a scientist.
I'm not.
I know, shocking.
Yeah. So.
The idea that like these things are spewing out and making islands is kind of cool. It means we're not done with the map yet,
Yeah, no, they can always change.
We're still getting updates, still getting patches. We got a patch in the, coast of Tonga.
Yeah, I wonder what they're gonna call it.
It's a good question. And at some point, they get to name it, right?
I mean, sure, right? Like, who gets to name it and why? The government?
I don't know. I mean, who decides that it's part of? I mean, do you just automatically say it's part of Japan?
Yeah, well, it depends how close is it in Japan waters.
Yeah, I mean, what if another country's closer?
Well, then who owns the water though.
What if? I mean, would they? Has there ever been a fight over who gets an island?
Yeah, that one with Canada and Sweden, I think it was.
Well, but like a newly formed island.
Oh, I don't know. But shall we move on?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not mentally moving on, but yeah.
What do you mean? We can talk about that later. Sorry. No. But yes. All yours?
Sorry, I was musing. I was musing on something. Yeah. The next one is from AP News.
Music.
I was that thing I said about whether or not anybody's ever fought over an island that's newly formed. Like I was looking at that real quick.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's where my head was. I was hoping you had a couple more things to say, or you would take the next one. But I'm not seeing anything here, so I'm good to go.
Okay.
But I'm sure there has been. Like that's the sort of thing I would deep dive into. That's interesting shit to me. AP News. Anchorage adds to record homeless death total as major winter storm drops more than 2 feet of snow. Wait, record homeless death count? Wait. So we're breaking these kind of records now?
Well, where is this? Not that it matters.
Anchorage is Alaska.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. This got some pictures here. A pedestrian pushes a shopping cart on Cordova Street during a heavy snowfall. This is a bad situation. Here's another pedestrian just under a blanket. They're trying to clear the road.
It looks like my city, honestly.
And
but she's prepared.
Yeah, she's got cross country skis.
Yeah. Well, snow boots are good to have. You know what those snowshoes are like. They're like
to keep you on top of the snow instead of falling through it every time. Yeah. So, 4 homeless people have died in Anchorage in the last week, underscoring the city's ongoing struggle to house a large homeless population at the same time winter weather has returned, with more than 2 feet of snow falling within 48 hours.
Wow.
The 4 bring the total of number of people who died while living outdoors in Anchorage to 49 this year.
Holy shit.
A record that easily eclipses the 24 people who died on the streets of the state's largest city last year.
Huh.
So, yeah. And last year, 11 of those deaths came during winter months. So that's interesting. 13 of them were not during winter months.
So is that like overdoses, maybe? Or
Yeah, I mean, because this just says died while living outdoors, so this could
Yeah.
include other causes of death, right?
yeah, so
And people who are on the street, yeah, there's a lot of them with drug abuse problems. It's part of how they got there.
yeah.
In other people's cases, that's not how they got there, but, you know,
Yeah.
obviously this is not, you don't want them to freeze to death and die. This isn't what anyone wants to think. You know? Everyone deserves a shelter.
Yeah.
So what's up,
that's-
Anchorage? This
yeah.
is America. Can we do better?
Especially in the cold area. Like here the shelters are open, but again, some people will not go to them. Like you can give them whatever. The only rule is you can't smoke meth around in there, and they'd rather sit outside on the curb. And you'll find them sheltered, and sometimes they'll freeze, and the paramedics have to come and take them by force. Pretty weird. But I guess that's drugs. But yeah, I've never been that addicted to drugs, I guess. Luckily.
Yeah, I mean, and, you know, once you're addicted, getting off without help is very difficult.
Yeah. No, I'm
So-
for sure. I'm not denying that.
And it's where all those programs that do try to help people end addiction are hugely important.
But you
'Cause
can
it's,
also
you know-
you can also only help who really wants to be helped too, though. Or like I know that sounds, but honestly, you can give something to everybody, and they just won't get the help. Other people will take whatever they can, and they'll succeed from it. But yeah, that's pretty sad that how many people. So do they not have shelters there? Do they not have anything?
I mean, I assume they have shelters, but I was just reading here they shut down the massive one, a sports arena
They
that was
should.
being used during the pandemic. Yeah, they when the city closed the mass shelter that was established, people started having to make these makeshift camps.
Huh. Hey, why would they do that? Like that's dumb.
Why did they shut this down? Yeah, this was helping. Why did you shut it down? Did you even have a reason? I bet somebody says money.
Alaska doesn't have a football team, do they? Or they don't even have a hockey team. So why do they need an arena?
Well, what I mean,
Yeah, I know that other stuff, but they're small arenas if they can let people stay there during the day or whatever.
you know that Alaska has no teams? Like, what do you mean?
No, like professional hockey team or
Oh, well, you don't have to have a professional team to have an arena.
yeah, but that's the only really main reason why you can.
I'm from Iowa.
Yeah.
I'm from Iowa.
But like, did you have huge arenas?
As
there?
a state Iowa has no professional teams, and yes, we have a couple big arenas.
Don't you have like big football college teams?
That's not professional. But yes,
Okay,
University
that-
of Iowa and Iowa
Okay,
State
well,
University are
that's
two of the big
different,
arenas I had in mind. You're right.
Okay, but
Having a big arena, so all you have to have is the University of Alaska.
yeah,
That's it.
Do they have a football
Also, you
team?
have the Alaska Aces,
I'm
the
pretty sure they
Anchorage
don't
Bucks,
have-
the
yeah.
Anchorage Glacier Pilots.
Yeah.
These
Okay.
are their teams.
Well, glad they can play while people freeze
They
to
have
death.
minor league and semi-professional
Glad
teams,
they
which
can
is enough to
play.
have arenas.
Well, they
You know?
freeze to death. But yes.
Yeah, they chose a terrible place. I'm not going to tell them they didn't, because they did. And I'm not going to go to an Aces game, or a Wolverines game, or a Bucks game, or a Rage City Roller Girls game, or an Alaska Anchorage Sea Wolves men's ice hockey. Okay. But yeah, they've got the Carlson Center. That's a big venue in
Nice.
Fairbanks.
But yeah,
Anyways,
that's pretty messed up. for
These
the-
big arenas and stuff, though, when they're not being used for an event, why not
Yeah.
use them for people?
Exactly.
I mean, obviously in 2022 this was available. In 2023 it wasn't. I can't say that's why more than twice as many people died this year, but maybe open it up in 2024 and see if the number goes back, and then we can say that, right?
But as I said, no.
And then once you can say that, maybe 2025 we open up additional shelters and try to get this death problem under control.
Only 15 of the people have died due to the weather, they're saying. Which, not when I say only, that sounds bad, but only like 15 out of the 60. How many? So,
right. So the shelters need to offer more than just shelter. It seems kind of silly in that sense that way, but like they need to offer mental and drug counseling.
What they do here, there's one. It's called the mustard seed here.
To try to get to these others, because
what they do,
you can't help everybody, but you got to try to offer help to everybody.
What they do is when in the morning they give everybody a bag lunch, because a lot of them are working. They're working homeless, right? But they give them a big lunch. They give them a bus ticket to get to work and to get back, and then I think they give them supper when they get back too. So, and they're working, and a lot of people go to the mustard seed actually get better. They were really down their luck, but they go there, they get the counseling, and they get much, much better. It's amazing what some can do, but you got to have the willpower too.
Willpower, and then of course, hopefully you could find a job that actually pays a wage that'll allow you to rent, because most of them don't.
Again, they have halfway houses here, kind of for that. They're not really halfway houses. They're program houses. Like there's a program you can join, right? But you have to be clean, and you have to submit to a drug test. You have to do a lot of things. You have to go to counseling, a whole bunch of stuff. But then you live in a house with 5 other people in different rooms, of course, and you all live together, and you still pay rent, but you pay minimum rent, right? Like a few $100 a month, and they help you get a job, and it is a pretty good program. I do really support the mustard seed here where I am.
Yeah, I mean, there's so few things. You got to commend the things that do exist.
Yeah,
because I prefer reformation over retribution. I don't think retribution works. I think retribution is to make yourself feel better. Reformation is the actual thing if you want to make the world better.
What do you mean? Like,
you want to have your criminals reform themselves so that they don't do crime again. Yeah. Or in the case of a drug addict, you want to reform so they're not doing drugs again.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, yeah.
As opposed to retribution, which would be, I need to arrest you and you need to serve 5 years in jail, and I don't care afterwards because you did a bad thing, and the retribution is more important to me than anything. Well, so that's the two flavors: reformation versus retribution. And no, Canada definitely does retribution.
Not anymore. Like now, you can get caught with drugs, and they don't. Now, they like you unless it's a serious amount of drugs, they'll just take it from you, like almost anywhere you are. The only place legally they do is Vancouver. But
okay, but you're talking about drugs, and you're also not talking about all drugs. If they catch me with fentanyl, they're not just going to take my little bound of...
In Vancouver, they will.
Like...
Vancouver decriminalized it. You can have up to 3.5 grams of heroin, cocaine, or fentanyl.
What about meth?
Meth too. I don't know. I'm sure...
Yeah, okay. I'm curious. Did they list everything?
I don't know. You look it up right now. I don't know every single one, but I know it's...
Okay, uranium.
What?
Uranium.
Look it up.
No, I'm saying uranium. If I had possession of uranium.
Yeah, probably not. But that's why I said look it up.
A nuclear material would still be illegal to be in possession of, no matter what, even in Vancouver, right?
Okay, 2.5 grams of hard
right, so
drugs. Of hard drugs.
You can't just blanketly say Canada doesn't do retribution in their criminal justice, because they do. Okay, but everyone does.
Uranium, I'm pretty sure anyone has uranium isn't doing anything good. So yeah, they should get in some shit for it.
Like, let's just move away from possession charges. Let's say somebody kills a child. What should happen? Should that person ever be free again?
No.
See, that's retribution. But that's retributive justice.
No, they killed.
And Canada and America agree with what you just said about they shouldn't go out again.
25 years. That's like,
if you believe in reformation, there would be a world where that person could be free.
But then, but they took a life. Take a life, you don't.
You forfeit your life. I know the definition of retribution. Yeah, it's eye for an eye is the simple way to put it. But you took a life, you lose a life. That's retribution.
You go around and
so that's you can't say Canada doesn't. Like they do.
Okay,
that's the thing. Yeah. You do a punishable thing, they punish you. There's no.
But what you were saying, these people on the streets, most of the time, I thought you were going on about the drugs and stuff. That's what we're talking about with this place here. Like,
Right.
they're not
I don't
gonna
want
arrest
to
you.
punish. I don't want to punish these people. I want to help them. So if you look at the way America answers the homeless situation, they go and arrest them.
Yeah.
And also, I haven't read enough about Canada, but I would guarantee they do too, because I've read enough about what they've done at protests and what they've done to Indigenous people, and that is mass arrests.
Yes, because that's
like it's the playbook. I've recognized it in another thing, so I'm pretty sure they do it in their law enforcement.
That's the weird part. That's a huge problem here, because it's like you don't know what day one thing's good, the other day one thing's bad. Like it's really messed up. The first Truth and Reconcile Day, Justin Trudeau took a vacation and didn't even go to Parliament. You know, and he says he cares, but he was caught on vacation. So of course.
Did you know that Joe Biden has taken more vacations than any U.S. president?
Yes, I know. Isn't that crazy?
Just straight up is just on vacation all the time.
So yeah.
And he might win another fucking term.
Yeah. So you're paying him to sit on his beachfront house. So
I wish Jill would tell him not to run.
Yeah, but she.
I think it literally would take Jill telling him not to. I don't think anybody else would.
No, I don't. Think
he said he was a one-term president. He said that. Joe Biden said, "I'm going to be a one-term president, Jack." He didn't. Not the exact words, but.
But yeah,
he promised to be a one-term president.
Did he? I don't.
He broke that promise. Yeah, he did.
Huh? He broke a few promises though.
Yeah. So unfortunately, this article doesn't really go into any detail about what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're just noticing they've got a problem. Let's see. The CE pieced together a short-term fix, adding temporary shelter beds. The only way to prevent more deaths is more housing. Well, and it doesn't have to be building more housing. I see they say that, but like up above, we talked about that arena. Like you open up that arena and have it available like you did before. That's a short-term fix too. But they're all band-aids because it's really the source of the problem. You know, why are these people on the streets? And in a lot of cases, it's opioid addiction, which in a lot of those cases started as a prescription.
100%.
A person who was just contributing, doing a job, working, going home, and had an accident, got hurt, needed to do something about the pain.
Yeah,
Doctor prescribed a thing, and then they couldn't get off the thing.
And then they either die or they get addicted.
So, these are, you look at the before, and it's like this was what you'd call a contributing member of society. So that's why Reformation is so important. Like, these people, they can go back. You can get fixed. You can get help. We end every episode with that.
For certain things, like, I don't know, like we say,
I understand what you're saying. Like, not everybody's going to take the help. But I think everyone should be offered the help.
100%, but
deny it if you want.
No,
don't deny offering it to people.
No, for sure. I believe that 100%. Until they banned me at 7-Eleven from doing it back 15 years ago, I used to take the food that best before date was midnight. We weren't allowed to sell it, right? So
of course,
it's still good though.
Same thing at Hy-Vee.
It's perfectly 100% fine to eat. 100% fine. So
but we're told to throw it out.
Yeah, so I used to take it downtown every day because I had to go downtown and I'd hand it out to the homeless. I'd either be handing out yogurts, anything, right? Actually, I usually wanted to do yogurts because that's what's pushing it. But I'd always hand out the sandwiches and the cookies and the donuts and all that. And
yeah, with the yogurt, that's a milk product. Yeah. I would also, the smell alone might make me not even want to eat it. So,
but sometimes I'd give it to people and they'd literally throw it right away from me. Like, oh, do you have any money? I'm like, no, I got a sandwich. I don't want this sandwich. I was like, okay, well.
Right.
And it was pretty, I got pretty mad when that happened. Like, I don't know why, but that was years ago. It was like, really? I went out, like, I didn't pay for it, but I still went out of my way to do it, and I was trying to, but then others would be grateful. You give it to them and be so happy, like, even a month ago, I gave a guy a cookie. He was sitting there and I had a cookie. I just happened to have a wrapped cookie. And he was so happy. He got up. He actually offered a seat to a lady afterwards. Like, they're just because they are homeless and on drugs doesn't mean they're bad, but
right. And a lot of they started out as just regular people, and in a lot of cases, not every case, of course. Some people
are just bad,
like you said, they don't really want the help, and they've never wanted the help. So not everyone out there is just somebody down on their luck.
Yeah.
Some people fuck their lives up.
And they don't. They will keep doing it. They don't. And they don't. Some of them won't even care who they hurt.
Mm-hmm. You can't help everyone.
Yeah, but like you said, to offer it for sure.
And I think Anchorage could help more. I think they could do more, especially since they know it's something. It's different. It's different this year. It's more than double.
Yeah.
So respond, react. I don't know who the politicians even are there. Is it still Sarah Palin?
Maybe. No, it's probably not. But maybe.
Are you sure?
I could be wrong, but I don't think. I think she lost.
All right, who's?
But I don't.
Governor Mike Dunleavy.
Yeah.
Senator Lisa Murkowski, and Senator Dan Sullivan. I don't know these people, but you know, get your shit together. This is an unacceptable situation. This is America, you know. Do better.
America. Okay.
America. It's a first world country. We do better. Speaking of firsts, see what I did there? First.
No,
Gizmodo brings us this one. World's first whole eye transplant is a success.
Okay, yeah. So we've done a few transplant stories on this channel before. This is a first, of course. 6 months after procedure, 46-year-old Aaron James' new left eye is surviving, though his sight has not been restored.
Yeah, there's a little caveat there. I did a little pre-read.
Yeah.
So, but they did the whole eyeball, like the whole thing.
Okay.
And it's not doing the rejection thing, you know, where your body says
I don't
no.
know if I can look at this. Oh, okay, that was scary.
This is not the actual eye. This
freaked
is
me out. I was like, no.
Edgar someone, I think. This is just some random stock photo, Shutterstock. But yeah, the doctors made medical history.
Yeah, that's amazing. They're doing, like, the amount they can do, soon there'll be so much. Like, it's... Whoever thought that you can, like, take an eye, like, I don't know, it's just insane.
And this guy, Aaron James, 46-year-old, he was a military veteran. So that kind of goes with our Veterans Day, you know?
Yes.
Maybe why they timed this article, but he suffered a high-voltage electrical accident at work that injured much of the left side of his body and face, including his eye. So they then decided to try grafting an entire eyeball as part of mainly for cosmetics. So they weren't intending function. Although that'd be incredible if it did. I also pre-read a little bit. They tried to do something extra to make it
move or no?
Functional.
Yeah.
And this is the actual photo, I believe, now, because you know we got the guy. I don't know who's on the right here.
Oh, he's
Eduardo Rodriguez. Maybe that's the doctor. Aaron James was on the left, though. So currently, only the cornea, the frontmost transparent layer of the eye, can be transplanted as functional replacement for a damaged or diseased one.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's all further we could really do it. But this could be, you know, like that other transplant we talked about. This could lead into medical breakthroughs, you know.
So this was the total eyeball, though, right?
Yeah. So the team's primary objective of this procedure was to show that it was possible to attach an entire donated eyeball to a recipient's body and have it survive long term. That said, they did try to improve the odds of the eye communicating with James' brain through his optic nerves by injecting the donor's harvested stem cells into the optic nerve.
At the same time.
So they did stem cell stuff to try to see if they could get it to also function. I think that's kind of cool that they gave that a shot.
Yeah. Hey.
Imagine if they could really do that.
Imagine him waking up one day and he's gonna see.
Because if they could do that, basically any amount of eye damage would be fixable. If we could just do it one time with a full transplant, like just to prove it's even possible and that vision could be restored, would be insane. But yeah, so far the organ does seem to be staying alive, and we're 6 months later, by the way, already with this story. I know with our previous transplant story, we were more live with it or up to date on it. So, but this is already past the point of which that the pig heart lasted. I think the second pig heart was 3 months, right?
No, I don't think he lasted that.
Or 2 months?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Well, this one's already 6 months later. So, and it's also not your heart. So,
yeah. But
it's a different story.
Things could have still went really wrong, though, right? Like,
all surgeries are dangerous for sure.
Well, maybe one day Maybe one day his vision will just come back. You never know.
They're still saying it's possible. It's still possible. Some eyesight could be restored, according to Rodriguez.
Oh.
And they are going to keep monitoring his progress. As will we. If there's an update, we will obviously see the articles and we will talk about it. Either way, it's just kind of another in our new series, I guess. We've only done a couple transplant stories, but it's a cool topic. I like it.
Yeah.
Some people maybe don't. Like, they think it's playing God. What do you think about transplants?
Well, why wouldn't you? Why, like, you know what? Like,
is there too far?
If it's not hurting anyone else, like, to harvest, like, say they're like, this is going far off, but say they're harvesting people just to grow them for limbs and stuff, 100%. But,
oh God!
But in this case, no. If somebody died, and they're like, yeah, sure, you know what? Let's get his eye out right away. They can take his eye out, boom, put in this guy.
Yeah. We sign a thing here in America if we want. It's called a donor card. When you die, you will automatically be put into that process, so that because your shit needs to be put on ice ASAP.
Yeah.
And air transported in some cases, because some people are waiting on somebody with a donor card to
exactly.
whip it up and
Hey, but yeah.
But what if it allowed people to live for like twice as? Like, you just keep replacing stuff. Like, oh, my heart's going bad. Replace it. Get a new one.
Then only the rich would.
It's
the rich would. No, that would.
Let's say they're still getting it through just moral ways of getting it. People die, donate their stuff. They're just getting it that way, but they're paying to make sure they're at the front of the line.
No, that would. I see. No, that wouldn't be. That's just like. But see,
so there is a point where too far could happen.
Listen. So, for instance, in Canada, there was a big deal because one place was charging customers so they can get to the head of the line to see the doctor. And they got a lot of shit for it because they're like, nope, it's free healthcare here. So, no, that's a different story. But it was still,
for sure.
It still happened underground. But
I mean, sort of similar to and I know it's not the same, but the college admissions scandal that we had down here, where rich people were paying to get their kids into the better colleges. It's the same thing. Rich people have always been able to somehow pay to get to the front of the line.
Like, I'm pretty sure they used kids' blood to pump through Joe Biden and keep him awake, but I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, the adrenochrome.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not just kids' blood, right?
It's a whole bunch of other stuff, isn't it? Isn't it just
no. It's
athletes, isn't it?
I mean, there's things that I think they've argued enhance it, but the main important thing is that the kid has to be scared. If they're not scared, it doesn't form adrenochrome. That's only formed through fear, right? So they have to terrify. This is true. This is what they believe. It's not true. It's what they truly believe, is what I should say.
So, like, Joe is
bullshit.
In Joe's case, it's two birds, one stone, because they put Joe Biden in front of the kid. The kid gets scared. They take the blood out, put it back into Joe right there. That's how they do it.
I mean,
yeah,
and that's probably how you get the highest quality,
Yeah, pure, right from the source. But
speaking of pure, right from the source. Oh wait, no, this is not a good segue. We have another article from Gizmodo. Coyote vs. Acme has been shelved.
What?
Yeah, the movie you didn't even know was being made. They were going to make a live action Coyote versus Acme. The Roadrunner Coyote.
I don't know what live action. Okay, no, I'm glad.
Produced by James Gunn, starring John Cena.
What? Yeah, I'm so glad they didn't make that.
John Cena.
I have a.
You can't see this movie now, but you can't see John Cena either.
Good. He drives me bonkers. Like, I have nothing against him, but.
Wait, John Cena drives you bonkers, or James Gunn drives you bonkers?
John Cena sometimes, like not always, but just some of his roles that drives me bonkers.
He's only got one good role, and that was Peacemaker.
Yeah, but
all the rest of them sucked, like the Marine and his wrestling character.
I loved this show as a kid. I love the Wile E. Coyote, like the Roadrunner. They were, I don't know.
So this says it's a WB Animations hybrid live action. So does that mean like Space Jam, where you'd have some real actors with the cartoon actors?
Oh, see again.
John Cena would be interacting with the actual Coyote and Roadrunner, basically.
I hated the new whatchamacallit. Space Jam.
I didn't watch the new one. I
couldn't-
love the original.
I like the original. Do not even try to watch the new one. I think it was
Larry Bird's not white. Larry Bird is clear.
Yeah. But yeah, I couldn't. It was horrible. Maybe because it was LeBron. I'm not a fan of LeBron, but
yeah, that's my big problem is I don't really like LeBron. I do like Jordan.
Yeah,
I was a big Bulls fan.
I wasn't a basketball fan, but I just was a big fan of the movie. I went and saw it in theaters. That was how long ago? I've never seen it in theaters. When did Space Jam come out?
Space Jam, the original was oh god, I'm gonna say 2001.
No, before that.
1996.
That's it. I remember.
I was 9.
I was 8, and I remember seeing it in theaters. And my mom,
I didn't see it in theaters.
No,
I had to wait for VHS.
My mom fell asleep during it too. I remember.
Oh, that's what I didn't see till 2001.
Because I looked over and she was sleeping at the end of it. I'm like, hey, wake up! Like
she fell asleep.
Yeah. So.
Wow, it's a good movie.
Yeah,
you can't. It's like exciting movie too.
Yeah.
Like, how do you fall asleep during that?
We were kids when it came out. She wasn't, so maybe that's why. Maybe that's how I feel about this new one, and all the kids think it's amazing, right? Like, what?
So apparently, though, with this thing, they finished making it. This Coyote vs. Acme movie, they finished. Yeah, for 3 years, I was lucky enough to make a movie about why the most persistent, passionate, and resilient character of all time. Yeah, so 3 years at least of whatever that is.
Because all the editing.
I am beyond proud of the final product. So they made something, and beyond devastated by WB's decision. Because they're shelving it, they're not releasing it. So it's done, but they can't.
Owns it. But this is something that down the road someone else can buy and put it out there, right? So
possibly
that happens. So that's what happened with the Sound of Freedom, right? It was owned by Disney and shelved, and then I forget the not the Mel Gibson.
Oh, John Cena had this to say about the situation.
Mel Gibson's studio bought it, so then they could release it. And
John Cena. This is. Aw. That really sucks because I want to see this. At least a trailer. Maybe did they at least make a trailer?
Yeah. I don't know.
Did they make it to a trailer? Because I never saw it. Oh, they do have one.
Okay, let's watch it.
All right, here we go.
Is this just a fake? I think this is just fake.
This looks fake.
That look. Oh. This is fake. 100%. I'd be careful of the box of fireworks because.
Like, where's John Cena?
I should mention the plate glass window.
Yeah, this is just.
We're gonna go with that's not real.
Yeah, no, but that's alright. We gotta watch it for the Looney Tunes, so I got a smile on my face, you know. I'm definitely.
This doesn't even look like this is. What is this though?
That is a Tweety Bird. This is like.
But like this is a weird 3D. Like this isn't how Tweety Bird.
Yeah, so this was another thing they probably did. Like this is probably something that's on the freaking Disney Channel or not Disney Channel, WB Network and. Okay, well. No.
Well, it's yeah.
Yes, no
movie to go see here.
Anyway, no trailer to go not see a movie that we can't see, right?
Yep. So you can't see it, and you don't get to see it.
Okay.
Just makes me a little sad.
Fox News: Air Force hopes rising maximum age of enlistment to new high will ease recruit crisis. What?
So yeah, the American Air Force, as well as I think the Navy, well, let's see in the article, but they're increasing the maximum age you can join.
Okay.
Because they don't want old people joining. They're saying that this new rule will add 50 additional recruits per year. So they've been having trouble recruiting.
Ooh, 50.
And getting the young kids at school isn't working very well. They've tried a lot of new strategies to get kids at school. But they're going to go the other direction. They figure middle-aged men is probably the easier way.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Space Force. I should have fucking remembered that. Air Force and Space Force are raising their max age.
Okay.
So if you're going to be working for Space Force, good news. Yeah. Now you can join all the way up to the year 42. It used to be 39.
So you know what that means? There's going to be a draft, and now they're going to say we can draft you up to 42 years old. Actually, is there a late age limit on the draft or no?
America doesn't have a draft.
No, don't you? Well, when there is a draft. When you guys had a draft. You guys are going to have a draft again pretty soon. But
let's see. When we did have a draft, we drafted 18 through 25-year-olds.
Yeah. So now it's going to be up to 42, I guess.
Presumably. When
this not draft happens in America. But
if America were to bring back conscription, they probably would make it go in sync with that.
Yeah, so it's all a step ahead. It's already, right?
Now, I'm on the Wikipedia for conscription in the United States because of this question. United States federal law also continues to provide for the compulsory conscription of men between the ages of 13 and 44. So they've already got a range that's bigger than that.
Okay, but yeah, all right. But yeah, that's... So join the Air Force, join Space Force. I kind of want to join Space Force, but I can't.
I mean, as of 1973, we're all volunteer, but you're right. We could always turn that switch back on.
Yeah.
But I think it would be 17 to 44 is what this Wikipedia is saying it would
17.
be. 17 to 44, yeah.
But, yeah. And just because you get drafted doesn't mean you're going to go to war. But
the 18 to 25 is the light switch, like the little switch. If it's the they call it contingency basis. To do something beyond the 18 to 25-year-olds, they'd have to actually have legislation and shit. So if the time comes that they start conscription, I think the first round of conscription would be 18 to 25-year-olds. And then based on how it goes, they might expand it to the 17 to 44.
Yeah.
But that's only if we do the World War III scenario that we're almost likely going to go down.
Yeah, but that's not funny.
It's only if. But... It's still an if. It's still behind an if statement,
America
at least.
was bombing Syria yesterday, weren't they? Like,
yeah, we I keep reading about us literally doing military.
Yeah.
God damn it. I don't know which one's going to be the one.
Yeah, no, it's going to...
Every day's a
it's
great day.
It's I don't know. It's insane. Like for something that it was a big incident, and what's going on right now isn't even fair. It doesn't matter. But I don't see why. I don't know. I don't want to say anything because I have to be careful what you say these days. But
yeah, it's canceled.
It just like I don't know. What's this? Nothing solved. We've talked about that many times. All these fights, all this stuff. It's solving nothing. Especially in the other places. Like,
well, and solutions aren't even the goals either. Yeah. Like, I mean, or if they do have something you could argue is a solution, it's immeasurable. So it's like, okay, well, how are you going to actually do that? Like ending the drug abuse epidemic, the opioid epidemic. I mean, okay, but how are you actually going to do that?
Yeah. It's easy
you could say that's your solution. Yeah, my solution is to end the epidemic. Oh, no, that's not a solution.
For president, I will. Yeah, exactly.
I will go to war on drugs. And war on terror.
And there's a lot of them. And actually, that's what I saw in the Republican debate. A lot of those, not all of them, but a few of them actually they could think it's a big fat guy.
Fetterman?
No, not Fetterman. He's a Republican candidate.
Giuliani.
Yeah, I can't think of it right now. But
wait, Donald Trump.
No,
Chris. You said Christie. Big fat guy, right?
Chris Christie.
Chris Christie.
Yes. Anyway, I forgot what I was gonna say now. Oh yeah, he wants.
I know.
He wants to eliminate the Gaza. He says, right? He's like, what the heck, right? He's like, well,
eliminate Gaza. What does he mean by that?
Eliminate Hamas. He's like, but do it at all costs, pretty much. Saying is like, you have to eliminate. He didn't say the words that. He's like, you do what you got to do, right? As the other ones are saying, yeah, they shouldn't be bombing Gaza like that. he was like, let's go full force or something like that.
Yeah,
No,
probably don't need that.
and
That's
he
not.
wants to go after Iran because they support. Because if it wasn't for Iran, there wouldn't be Hamas or Hezbollah and all that. Right?
Well, if it weren't for Israel, there wouldn't be a Hamas.
Yeah, so-
Hezbollah would be a different discussion, but Hamas was directly originated and funded by.
But anyway, he's a horrible candidate.
We can obviously go into that at a later time because that probably sounds a little weird that I'm saying Israel supports the terrorist organization Hamas, but they do.
But anyway,
It's quite a deep dive though to that. So
yeah, we should wait to more popular night.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, it'd just be nice if we actually had people wanting actual solutions instead of platitudes. Platitudes are useless, and you watch these debates, listen to these debates. Most of what they're saying is a platitude. It's not an actual legislatable, measurable thing that you could say, "Hey, I do this, I make this thing, and it will help this problem."
Yeah, you can literally say whatever you want to say. It doesn't really matter, right? Like, it doesn't matter at all.
Like even if it's like funding a thing, like funding Ukraine, like that's still, what is that doing? Like, you're not actually making that measurable. Like, what did that do? You measured dollars. That's measurable, sure.
And you're literally,
but what was your goal? What's the goal with that dollars? How do we know those dollars worked? How do we know that succeeded?
And that the only thing it's doing is literally pissing Russia off too. It's pissing off another enemy. You know, you're like,
is there ever a moment afterwards where we're like, hey, did that money have the effect we thought it would?
And now,
or did it have a different effect? Like you just said, it pissed off Russia. Well, like, have that after the fact. Like, look at it afterwards and say, was this right?
Yeah, because
we never do that.
Because Russia looks at it as like, well, you gave them that weapons and they used that weapon to kill me. So, you know, like
we have an article about Russia tonight, so we may actually have what their retort was. They did something pretty gross with prisoners of war. Yeah. But we'll get to that tonight. Yeah, we have a Russia story tonight. So I don't want to spoil that one too much. Is there anything else on the Air Force or Space Force?
Not much.
I mean, this is fine. They're getting prepared. They're getting bigger numbers, and I prefer to go this direction than to go into our schools. I remember recruiters coming to our school. It's just gross because they lie to you, and they're looking for people who are in a financially bad situation, and that they make it obvious. Like, we'll pay for your college. Okay, well, you know who you're talking to the poors.
Yeah.
you wouldn't say that sentence to a rich. You wouldn't walk up to a Nepo baby and be like, I'll pay for your college if you go fight for me.
Yeah.
They would laugh at you and be like, I'm not going to go die for you. No. But people in a position who, you know, need college or think college is the only way out, but can't afford college, like my oldest brother, did this. He joined the Army. Yeah. My oldest brother is in the Army for this reason. Now, financially, it did not work out for him. Mentally, it's not worked out for him.
That's unfortunate.
Take with that what you will. Yeah. He's worse off for it. Thanks a lot, America. Okay. Those are my words, not his. He might actually have a positive thought on it, for all I know. But so I don't want to bring everyone down on Veterans Day.
So yeah, like next story.
but my personal tie to a veteran isn't a positive one. But let's talk about Joe Biden. We love Biden, don't we?
Yeah.
Fox News brings us this one. Biden assures the press, it wasn't me who fell during brief UAW speech in Russia. Biden mimed walking unsteady around the podium afterwards. Did he fall again?
Joey.
Did he lie? Did he fall? It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Oh, do we have an actual clip of the moment? Hold
Look
on.
at that smile.
Workers are ready to work harder than anybody else.
Oh, this isn't.
Just wait.
Oh, this is Fox News.
Yeah, don't watch it though. Let's watch it. This is where.
But it's going to be unrelated.
No, this is where he's saying he didn't fall. Maybe. See, that's they all laughed.
No, that wasn't me.
See.
You okay?
I'm trying to hear.
You okay? I want the press to know that wasn't me.
Oh, I get it.
He's trolling.
Yeah, because someone else fell.
Oh, wait, why did it get smaller? I don't want to see these.
Yeah.
Doing the.
Okay.
You know, my dad.
See,
why? Their video is so bad here.
That's him, because that's a fake Joe Biden. That's not the real Joe Biden. Or he just got the blood transfusion or something.
You know, my dad.
I want this. Like, what is it?
Like
That.
he's like, I don't know.
Your video player's so
Like,
bad, FoxNews.com. You got to work
I
on
don't
that.
know. I don't know.
But okay, so
I think someone else.
he's
fell.
mentally there enough. He's mentally there enough to troll. That says something, doesn't it?
That's either fake Joe
Like
Biden.
my grandma.
That was a
my
fake,
grandma
that was
could
a
not
fake
troll.
Joe Biden. That was not a real Joe Biden. Like
This doesn't look like the same guy.
there's a look. I'm sure you can find a line. There's a mask. That's because there's no way Joe Biden was like that active, unless he just got that blood transfusion right then and there. I'm being very facetious, but still.
Now here's the photographic evidence of him falling.
This title was misleading because he did say, like, it makes it sound like he was saying I didn't fall at that on the podium, but
Yeah, they're trying to make it. They're
Yeah.
trying to make it sound like he is
100%.
mentally unaware that he did in fact fall. Like, yeah, he did. It's right here.
that's why he was joking because someone else fell
But he
in front
was,
of him.
yeah.
And no, good on him.
Yeah.
If that's him, good on him. That was a pretty funny joke and how he did that thing, how he mocked himself.
It was almost a Trumpism. He was actually doing a Trumpism
he was-
with the miming of it.
Yeah.
That's Trump would do that
Trump
because he
did it.
did that with the water thing.
Yeah,
Like,
so
and to this day, Trump still does that at his rallies, where he takes a and then the crowd laughs as he looks at the water, and then he drinks it with one hand. And that's it. That's it. That the whole joke was the CNN said that Trump couldn't hold up a glass of water or something.
So-
CNN ran some dumbass thing.
Yeah,
He has the thing. He could do it every freaking rally where he just drinks water.
yeah, and they're like, yeah, it's like, but yeah, because the CNN.
All Biden does is fake a fall, and everybody will laugh. He does a fake fall and then looks up and smiles.
Yeah,
It's almost like wrestling gimmicks. Like they have their little, not their signature moves, but their signature things they do. You know, like hulking up. That wasn't his finishing move, but he would always do the hulking up thing. You know.
oh, the
I feel like that's. I mean, if you can't have fun with your politicians, you can't do anything. Because
is he falling there?
he might be. I mean, look at that. That is a dangerously high footstep. He did.
He's misjudging
Did he not
that.
expect the foot to or the step to be that short?
But that could be a very misleading photo too. You know, like.
So look at this. This is an actual leg. There's no additional bends.
Yeah.
DeSantis. This is a 6 foot tall man.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean he can walk.
Yeah, they're both tall. Trump, I think Trump's actually 6'1" and he's 6, so they're like the exact same height.
Yeah.
Like,
So you
it's
put them next to DeSantis, and it's like,
Yeah.
hey, who's the child?
Yeah,
Why is there?
and he's
Who's that?
5'9", I think, right? Which
Because DeSantis also doesn't have facial hair, so he,
Yeah.
you know, kind of looks like he'd be their child, you know. Yeah, this is him falling up the stairs on October 13th.
yeah, we probably watched this and made fun of it, but just from a different angle.
I think so, unless that October 13th, unless we watched ours.
I don't remember.
before that one.
I remember one being at nighttime, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. All right. That's all I got on Biden today. We'll have more on Biden later. I'm sure of it. The mysteries of the universe, though.
Mystery
you know-
of the Universe.
Do you know of Led Zeppelin?
Um,
You ever heard
No,
of Led Zeppelin?
never in my life.
All right. We'll probably move on to the next article then.
Kinda,
Oh.
for sure. So what are they up to?
So the mystery of Stickman has been solved. Now, I'm not a huge Led Zeppelin fan, but here's the Stickman.
Okay.
What's the mystery?
I don't know.
Like, who is he?
I guess you never.
I guess
think
that's the
about-
mystery.
Do you ever think about it? Somebody has. So, who is he?
All right. After more than half a century, the identity of the elderly stick-carrying man on Led Zeppelin 4 album covers finally been revealed. Stickman, who featured on the cover of English rock band Led Zeppelin's 1971 fourth studio album, was a Thatcher from the late Victorian era. The Wiltshire Museum in southwest England said in a statement Wednesday.
Huh.
Well, how do they know?
Well, probably because it was a museum. I don't know. 501. He was a school teacher, so he's probably in the yearbook.
Oh, this is the original black and white photograph of Stickman with the thing below it saying Wiltshire Thatcher. Or Wiltshire.
Huh.
I guess that's a W.
That's crazy. 1903. He died.
The Thatcher is thought to be Lot Long, sometimes known as Longmere. He was born in Mere, Wiltshire in 1823.
That's insane, and that's well,
Yep,
that means he's on. That
I
means
know.
this guy's was 200 years later. He's still seen probably every single day. I guarantee
But why do they use him for their cover?
I don't know, because it's probably a good cover. Um,
Hmm.
there's actually, it's weird you brought this up because early you picked this article because I was reading, I saw an article today too. I just came across it, and it was talking about a photo cover that band Scorpions had back in the 1970s something. I forget what, but I'm not gonna say what it was because it was not. It was very very bad, and they had to remove it after a few hundred copies were sold. But yeah, that was it. Was like they let it out like right now. Like nothing would go horrible. But yeah, it's sometimes they just pick random covers, and the band apologized for what they did because like they didn't realize. I guess
They didn't know what they were doing.
I don't. They said they weren't exactly told what it was gonna be, but yeah. You can look it up yourself. Scorpions cover. Look it up, but you don't look it up, please, Dustin. But
No.
Yeah.
But
So,
audience
yeah.
members on your own time, without, not at work, probably, right?
well, yeah, probably not. Yeah, it's not a good idea.
Better safe.
Yeah. But yeah,
So yeah, mystery solved.
that's kind of neat. An old fella like that. He's 200 years later. People are still recognizing him and all that.
You remember the Matchbox 20 album
No, I
with
might.
the weird old guy on the front of it?
No, I don't.
I was thinking, didn't that guy end up suing them or something?
The baby, you mean?
No, not the baby.
That was
The
Nevada.
dude.
That was Nevada anyway, wasn't it?
Yeah, Nirvana was the baby, and we did do an article on that.
Yeah, did we? Yeah. Oh yeah, I was suing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was thinking this one here.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I had that one. Jeez. Yeah.
I had this album, but this is not Rob Thomas. Now, when I first got this album, I thought that was Rob Thomas.
Yeah, I thought I probably did.
And then I saw that Rob Thomas is a fucking supermodel, and it kind of pissed me off.
I thought
I don't like that I don't like that Rob Thomas is so pretty.
Yeah.
Is that wrong? Am I wrong?
I guess I don't know who he is.
Does that make me bad?
I don't
He's
know.
the lead singer.
Yeah, I know who he is, but I don't know what he looks like. But that's good. I'm fine. But
But yeah,
me too.
who's this guy?
I don't know. Somebody. We've been lied to our whole lives about everything. Remember that. Everything you hear from it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, in 2005, almost a decade after the album's release, the band was sued by Frank Torres, the man on the album's cover. This is Torres. Claimed the band never asked for his permission to use it, and claimed that the photo was taken while he was walking down the street after being asked to pose. He also claimed the photo had caused him emotional distress.
Did he win his case?
Torres justified the delay in suing Matchbox 20 by claiming he had seen the album photo within 2 years of the litigation. He died in 2016, so no. We never got to see the end.
It was a state,
died.
maybe. That sucks.
Yeah, I think he died before we could even get anywhere with that, but I guess maybe the Led Zeppelin guy won't get to sue, though. He's from the 1800s, confirmed.
No.
So, no problems there. And yeah, like you said, I'm not going to bring up the Scorpions album.
Yeah.
That one anyway, Snape. That one's fine.
All
right. Here's the Russia story I was thinking about.
From CNN, Russia parades Ukrainian war prisoners as volunteers for its army, a apparent violation of international law. So what are they doing?
So the way I read that, it sounds like they have Ukrainian prisoners of war that they're saying, because that's in quotes, they're saying that they volunteered to join the Russian army.
You wouldn't trust them. That sounds kind of sus.
I don't think I trust Russia to be truthful about this volunteer part.
I wouldn't.
So what it sounds like to me is that Russia is forcibly conscripting enemy soldiers. That's what it sounds like.
But they would. Russia wouldn't trust Ukrainian soldiers. I don't know. Let's see what it says.
Yeah, would you really hand them weapons? Yeah, I mean that's what.
know.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. So a group of former Ukrainian servicemen, including prisoners of war, have volunteered, again in quotes, to fight on the front lines for Russia. Moscow's state-run news agency RIA Novosti has claimed. So, I mean,
It's a
sure.
potential. The agency released a video this week showing a few dozen men. It said were Ukrainian wearing combat fatigues and holding rifles. Well, taking an oath to Russia at a ceremony. The full size of the unit is unclear. Okay.
One second.
So according to the RA, no, Fistia. I don't know how to say that. The men are volunteers. CNN cannot independently verify if they join the unit voluntarily or under duress. Ukraine has not commented on the report. So yeah, in my opinion, it's if they're definitely making them do it. But I wouldn't trust. I would not trust enemies with weapons. Like, no, I don't see Russia trusting them either. It doesn't make any sense.
Right. And as of right now, this is only according to RIA, which is, of course, a Russian source. CNN cannot independently verify if they joined voluntarily or under duress. Ukraine has not commented either. So until we hear from hopefully some non-Russian source, it's hard to take them for their word.
You can say that to anybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can say, literally about all the ongoing conflicts. Like, independent third party is what you need, because anything else is potentially biased. No matter, even if you agree with one side, their side's probably spitting out bias.
Okay.
So, but don't if it really is them forcing prisoners of war to fight for them, that is fine. That would be really fucked up.
I mean, I don't think it would be cool. Let's see, what else does it say? Does it say anything else down below? Or I guess they don't really have any information. That just Ukraine has not responded or anything. Or Russia and Ukraine remain locked in battle. Yeah, we all know that. Nothing new there. We did talk about the Russian place get bombed. Have you seen anything else on that? The soldiers, like
not
that
really.
ceremony, they were having a ceremony, and apparently they tweeted about it, and Russia took the opportunity to attack a whole bunch of high-end soldiers.
I mean, the thing is, though, like, this was still an ongoing war, and even after the war ends, I don't really think that anyone's going to come in and say, "Hey, Russia, here's your punishments for the bad things you did."
No, exactly.
Like, I just don't see that happening, because if they could do that, they'd do it now.
Yeah, no one's going to do it.
So, like, yeah, even if they do a bad thing, I don't think about it, because I've lost faith in the world.
But yeah, until I see more proof on this, I don't know. I wouldn't say anything, but
But yeah, I mean, I know the other thing is we were saying, Russia doesn't sound like they're doing such bad things, but this would be pretty bad.
Yeah, and it would be.
So, got to make sure we give them coverage when I see things that.
For sure, and again, they could be bad.
We don't want to forget that this is a bad conflict too. Like, Russia's not the good guy. Yeah, no matter how you look at this, they began this war. They were clearly the aggressor.
They got now, but I'm pretty sure they got the places they want. So, and
that's what I want. Like, at what point does Vladimir Putin say, "I got what I needed"?
He is pretty much there. He's saying he wants to do it, but Zelensky wants to fight and get his land back. And to be fair, not like, and I don't know this. A source that I've heard, and not a source, but I read this on a different article, that a lot of people who live in those places speak Russian, and they are Russian. They're just in the Ukrainian land. But that's not confirmed.
Oh, yeah, I think I've heard that before. And I think, really, though, it's hard to say that just because you speak a language, it's hard to say for somebody else that which country they want to be a part of. And I don't know that their actual voices have been heard. Maybe they should be. Yeah.
I heard they did have that reform vote, didn't they?
Is there anything that Russia could do that you would believe? Like, if they sent out a thing saying, we polled these people, they want to be a part of our country, would you believe them? I know CNN wouldn't.
No, but I'm sure there'd be some video of it. Well, if they had some proof of it, 100%.
I mean, it would be like any other vote or election. The proof would be electronic paperwork.
Okay,
it wouldn't be
okay,
people.
well, yeah. Well, see,
it's not
with
like Survivor.
I can't say because I don't vote. Like if I was here, and for instance, if my candidate didn't win my area and the Liberal candidate won, 100% that'd be suspicious because it's been 80-20 in this location for the last 40 years, right? The odds of it flipping are not very high. So if it was like 80-20 the opposite way, it was like, okay, that's suspicious. But if that happened where you are and you didn't tell me and I didn't see any of it on the news,
But you've got historical stuff to compare to. In this case, they wouldn't have anything.
Exactly. Okay.
They've never been asked, do you want to be in Russia? Do you want to be in Ukraine?
But then
we can't look back on the answers to compare.
They can say it's like, I don't know. I can't.
Right. So, I mean, that would be a way to try to fact check that you're right. I mean, as far as trying to, it should be ballpark. If anything's out of the ballpark, you should look into it. But, there's no ballpark to compare here. It's just, do people of Donbass want to be a part of Russia? I don't know. I don't know a single person from Donbass.
I don't either, but I've heard that from a few different places, and I don't know. Maybe it is.
Now, if you were to ask me, if a country were to come in and take over part of the United States and then now as part of their country, I would probably want to go back to being a part of the United States. That'd just be my take. Because any country that would take over my country, I probably don't want. But that's my take. Whether or not I speak their language or not. There's not one of the other things it said down here. I think it was actually Zelensky said it. He's calling what they're at right now a stalemate, a technological stalemate.
Yeah.
We have reached the level of technology that puts us into a stalemate. There will most likely be no deep and beautiful breakthrough. So, actually, that was General Valery. Make sure I quote the right guy. But yeah, it's basically there's not going to be anything to talk about. There's been a reason we haven't covered it. There's nothing to talk about.
It's not a ceasefire, but it is.
It's to a point where the only thing we could report is the line has moved. The line of scrimmage has moved because it's probably moved a little bit each direction each day, but that's not really anything to report. So unfortunately, until more incidents like this happen, we probably won't talk about Russia and Ukraine too much. So at least in that aspect, Russia is being more quiet than the other ongoing international conflict. That's quite loud and is still every website's top headline. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yeah. Anyway, question for you too. So in Ukraine, their government suspended 11 political parties that were going to run against them. You hear about that?
Ukraine is suspending political parties.
Yeah, because if they have any of them are pro-Russia or any of them like Russia, they suspend their party.
So this was March 20th.
It was last year. But this was before the last election. But yeah, that's Zelensky got that going. So
March 20th of last year.
So, but yeah, but that's kind of, I don't know. That's kind of weird. Still, political is a political, unless they're Russian and all that. But they're just linked. If they're just pro-Russia, it's different.
Yeah, I mean, what does pro-Russia mean? How do you define that?
But that's exactly it. I can't say, but that's still, I don't know. That's not very democratic.
Well, no, but did Ukraine claim to be a democracy?
What do they say? I'm pretty sure they are, aren't they?
Are they? I mean,
they define as that.
Do you think America's a democracy?
Again, they define as that.
No, we don't, and no, we're not.
You don't?
No, and no.
Yes.
We're a democratic republic, which is not a democracy. That's why I'm asking you. America's not a democracy. So if you're thinking that they're a democracy in that same way, I might agree with you. But that's not a democracy.
Okay.
So, and the difference is that we don't have popular election. The popular vote doesn't decide the president.
Oh, that's
electors do. So we don't actually pick. Electors pick. So that's why it's a representative democracy, I guess. Democratic republic. I don't know which way you want to word that. but basically representatives are the real voice instead of the people.
Oh, 100%. That's
True
exactly.
democracy would be the people.
We do it a little bit different here. But 100%. That's how we do it here too.
So Ukraine, I highly doubt they're a true democracy, just because like almost nowhere is, right?
Yeah, but anyway,
this is a unitary semi-presidential republic.
Anyway, then let the people.
Doesn't sound good at all.
Okay, anyway, let's say those parties are running anyway. Even if you disagree with the party, if the people vote them in, they get voted in, right? Isn't that what the people want?
I mean,
So
as long as you meet the qualifications.
yeah, but for them to
now,
why would
they're saying that they're adding this to the list of qualifications, whatever pro-Russia means.
Yeah.
But like that's such a vague concept, pro-Russia. Okay, am I pro-Russia if I would be willing to do an economic trade deal with Vladimir Putin? Is that pro-Russia to want to do trade deals?
And that's probably Zelensky's discretion, right? Like or something.
What if, in my opinion, that's just neutral? That trade relations with countries is just neutral to me, and to have no trade relations is negative, and to have exceptional trade relations would be a positive. But having trade relations is neutral. Guess whose take I'm describing right now? China. That's literally why China does business with Russia and most of these places that we call them bad for doing. Like, for them, doing economic deals is just neutral.
Russia's still
doing deals. It's not picking a side. They don't think they're picking a side by doing the deals.
It's supporting your economy. You have to do what you got to do, right?
And I can't really fault them too much for that because, I think it's helped drastically. Like, their economy is one of the most, like, boosted economies right now. Like, they're moving up.
I just think when I saw this, I thought that was insane how he got away with that.
With the banning of the political parties?
Regardless of their, like, I'm pretty sure they're just up to recently, and I don't agree with it. Canada had the Nazi Party. Like, they had the Communist Party too, up until like 2000. You know, like, and they're allowed to run. They never win. They never got a seat. They never did anything, but they're allowed to be a party. Again, maybe I don't agree with it, but it is. They're allowed their opinion as long as you're not threatening to kill people, right? Or doing damage.
But yeah, I mean, this is obviously election engineering on his part, though, because he's making it so that the names on the ballot are basically just his, right?
Yes.
Zelensky. So I don't understand why that didn't get more coverage. I guess because we were all in the middle of jerking off Ukraine.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he wanted. So, but that's political interference. That is, if they want to say anything, but
that's taking advantage of the news cycle to do that. Similar to.
I saw that. I had a point. I just remember that. That's why I had a point.
No, it's definitely, and we weren't covering stuff in 2022, so we couldn't have done that one, but we would have.
Yeah, and maybe we should look more into this, see if there's anything deeper we can find out for the next episode. Because I do like to see this. I've never been a big fan of Zelensky, and I've made that clear. And I hate to see anything bad happen to Ukrainians, but I'm not a fan of Zelensky at all.
Right, and you can empathize with a people, but not like their government.
Yeah, I hate the Chinese government. Most Chinese people are great people, like. But
I don't know any Chinese people.
No, I know a few. I work in public though, right? So
I'm gonna assume they're just like everyone else, and that the vast majority of them suck.
Yeah,
humans are terrible,
and
horrible, Chinese humans would be no different.
Yeah.
So it's I'm just treating everyone the same by saying that the likelihood is you suck.
Someone's gonna clip that, and you're done.
I know, I'm done. That's
you're
it.
Done, bud. You're
but you know the context. You know the context is there. And they're gonna be like, "Oh, Frank, you know what he did?" And say, "Can't count."
Okay, well.
All right, I think we have just one more story tonight. Jump right in here and get this last one knocked out. From the Las Vegas Sun. I don't know if we've ever used this source.
Yeah, well, it's Las Vegas, probably their city paper.
Las Vegas Sphere reports $98.4 million loss. Is this Las Vegas Sphere a casino?
No, it's a big globe thing. That thing is amazing looking. That can turn anything. It's like sometimes it's got a smiley face that's winking at you or waving at you.
Okay, so the CFO, the chief financial officer, quits. because of the $98 million loss.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. You're the finance guy.
It
You were
just
supposed
it
to
just
make
opened.
this not.
It just opened, but yeah.
Oh, and it's immediately losing money.
But yeah, it's amazing. Like it's a pretty cool. I've seen video of it. It looks amazing, but apparently it's super expensive too. So
Yeah. So the Sphere of Las Vegas reported an operating loss of $98 million in the fiscal quarter ending September 30th. This morning on the earnings call.
Quarter, not even fiscal year. That's
yeah,
insane.
They lost $98 million in a quarter.
Yeah.
Gautam Ranji, the chief financial officer, has resigned, according to a Securities and Exchange Commission's filing, SEC.
Wait, it was a result of not a disagreement, but he's probably just stepped aside, so it looks better on him.
Yeah, he's got this quote saying it's not a result of blah, blah, blah. This is exactly what they told him to say, but, his actual opinion's not what he can actually say.
For sure.
They always make you say exactly what you're supposed to say and nothing more. But yeah, I would also quit if I immediately took a $90 million.
Yeah.
The Sphere, though, it says is the $2.3 billion venue, so it cost them $2.3 billion to make it. It opened September 29th, so it's literally been open a month.
Yeah. But I seen video. It was pretty cool looking. With
the start of U2's multi-month residency. Is that the band, U2?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they... Sure. They were going to have big bands in there. Brand campaigns on the Exosphere.
And the video looks so real because it's all high def and it's all over the place. Like you're looking up, and there's a giraffe. Shows a giraffe, and you can actually looks like the giraffe's eating right in front of you. It seems
so revenue for the quarter included $4 million in event revenue, the 2 U2 shows, and $2.6 million from suite licensing and advertising. That's not even close to as much as you need to make, is it? If your operating costs are $90 million and your revenue is $6 million
for 2 shows, though.
Yeah, I mean, why didn't you do more than 2 shows?
Yeah, that's exactly it. They should have done more than that, because
maybe you should have done 40 shows and made this $80 million. So it was $80 million plus $2 million. Then we'd be looking at an operating, versus revenue loss of $5 million. But this is unrecoverable numbers. Unless you can prove that you can do these shows more.
Yeah, got to get better bands and stuff in there.
That's the end of the article. So, I mean...
It wasn't much. I just saw it. I was like, well, that's unfortunate. The riches lose a lot of money. Oh, no.
I mean,
what are we going to do?
So if you make $2 million per show, right?
Yeah.
It would only take you 1,000 shows to pay for the Sphere.
Yeah.
That's it. 1,000 shows. If you do 200 a year, that's 5 years. After 5 years of shows, you're paid. The Sphere's paid for.
Does U2 have 5 years left?
Now, you also got to count 5 years of interest on a big-ass debt, so I guess you could say 10 years. 10 years operating to get back to green.
And the electricity bill. How many lights? Look how many lights are in that thing.
Well, I mean, revenue accounts for costs. So it's all factored in. If you made, I don't know. Well, no, it's all factored in because it's in the operating, the $98 million. This includes all the electricity and stuff. This is the cost to have all those tours, concerts, and everything. But this is the amount of money you need to make back. I guess the question, though, is... It says revenue. What did the actual events cost?
Okay.
These 2 sold-out shows.
How many lights do you think they have?
At a concert?
No, how many lights does this building have?
Oh. I don't know, 10,000?
1.2 million.
What the hell? I said a big number, too. I said 10,000 like it was crazy. Like over 1 million lights.
And each light is the size of a hockey puck, LED light. So, yeah.
Would you go to a concert if the concert were on a ball? I
don't know, but apparently there's a few shitty seats in there, too. But...
Where's the actual band? Are they live or is it all
they're
recorded?
Live. That's a thing that's why it's so shitty, but they are in the middle. There's a stage. There's a stage at the bottom.
I mean, okay, all right.
Yeah, I've seen some video. It's pretty cool, but
yeah, because if you go to
type that in Google here. Just type in the Sphere in Google and look at some photos, just to show. Because some of them are pretty cool, and some of them are pretty crazy looking.
Oh yeah, and they got daytime photos here too.
Yeah. Like it's a
Like-
pumpkin.
Whoa.
Isn't that crazy? Like,
Oh, and this is the Men's Journal article on the same thing we're talking. Nearly $100 million loss. CFO quits. But yeah, the pumpkin, the eyeball,
yeah.
a different view of the eyeball. That's creepy.
Yeah, isn't that freaky? Like, yeah. The world, the globe. There's a smiley face one time I saw.
Armageddon,
Like that's
time bomb,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Earth.
Basketball.
Yeah. If you got Summer League. You know, if you want to advertise something, this is the most ridiculous advertisement you can
Borderline
have.
banter.
If we could get it to say borderline banter.
There's a
Smiley
thing,
face.
yeah. But yeah, I think it's
This was what they had for the opening night of the U2 concert.
maybe yeah.
Maybe.
Someone posted a video from her bedroom. She's like, I woke up to this looking at me. Pretty funny.
It's kind of
But yeah, I think oh, kitty.
The Marvels.
Yeah, I think it's time to wrap it up here, Dustin.
The trailer for the Marvels has several kitties in it. That's a flirkin.
Well, thank you for everyone who's been watching and everyone who's watching later on YouTube. If you haven't already, hit that follow button. Like I said, you can watch us live 3 times a week on Kick. We do it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday and Wednesdays we do 7 p.m. MST Mountain Standard Time, and on Friday we do 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You can see me at kick.com/borderline-banter. I had to double check it because there's so many different things. But you'll be able to find it on my website here. We also please follow us on Facebook, TikTok, X, formerly known as Twitter, and YouTube. Also, if you want to be on the show, give us a follow. Go to our website, borderlinebanter.com, and drop us a line. We'll get back to you and we can set up a time. Come banter with us, come debate with us, come share your thoughts, come share your stories. Love to talk, we love to hear from you. Dustin, anything before we jet out here?
I just want to thank you for being here with me on Friday. I know we said that we might have some others, but it's always at least me and you. You know,
Yeah.
For minimum, we get 2 banters. It just takes 2 people to banter.
Yeah.
You know. So I want to thank everybody watching live and everybody watching later on the YouTubes and everywhere else. Make sure you hit all those buttons. Leave comments. I read everything. I'm constantly reading. And it's been the way that kept me out.
Sure. And like we end every show, we like to remind you that it's okay not to be okay. If you ever need someone to talk to, there are people out there who care. Here in Canada, the number is 1-866-456-4566. States, it's 988. They're there to help. Well, hope you have a good night. Thanks for watching. You gonna say something, Dustin?
Nope, that's all I got.
Okay. Enjoy all. I would host, but it's a slow night, so maybe on Monday. Stay safe, everyone. Goodbye.